Number 9, 1985 to 1989 Merkur XR4Ti. Starting our list at number 9 is the Merkur XR4Ti, Ford's attempt to bring European sophistication to American showrooms that ended in complete failure. This German-engineered sports sedan was supposed to compete with BMW, but confusing branding and questionable styling killed it before it had a chance. The XR4Ti featured a 2.3-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine producing 175 horsepower, which was actually competitive for the era. The performance was decent, with 0 to 60 miles per hour times around 8 seconds. However, the biplane rear spoiler design looked odd to American buyers who couldn't understand why a sedan needed two rear wings stacked on top of each other. Priced starting around $16,503, the XR4Ti cost more than most domestic sports cars, but came from a brand nobody recognized. Ford created the Merkur brand specifically to sell European Fords in America, but buyers had no idea what a Merkur was or why they should care. Reliability issues plagued early models, with turbocharger failures, electrical problems, and parts that were expensive and difficult to source. Dealerships didn't know how to service them properly, leaving owners frustrated. By 1989, Ford pulled the plug on the entire Merkur brand. Number 8. 1980 to 1985 Chevrolet Citation. At number 8, we have the Chevrolet Citation, General Motors' ambitious first front-wheel drive compact car that became one of the biggest automotive disasters of the decade. What started as the best-selling car in America in 1980 quickly turned into a cautionary tale about rushing products to market without proper testing. The Citation launched with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine producing 90 horsepower, with subsequent optional 2.8-liter V6 engines available, making between 112 and 135 horsepower depending on the year. Named Motor Trend's Car of the Year for 1980, the Citation sold an incredible 811,000 units in its first year, with buyers waiting months for delivery. However, the celebration was short-lived. Within months, owners reported catastrophic problems: rear brakes that locked up unexpectedly during normal driving, causing dangerous spin-outs and accidents, weak steering rack mounts that failed, engine fires caused by transmission fluid leaking onto hot exhaust components, rapid rust development around body panels, and electrical failures throughout the vehicle. Sales collapsed dramatically, dropping from 811,000 in 1980 to just 63,000 by 1985. Number 7. 1982 to 1988 Cadillac Cimarron. At number 7 is the Cadillac Cimarron, a vehicle that perfectly illustrates how not to enter the compact luxury segment. General Motors took their entry-level Chevrolet Cavalier, added some leather seats and wood trim, then charged buyers nearly twice the price while expecting them not to notice. The Cimarron launched with a 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine making 88 horsepower, which was inadequate even by early 80s standards. Cadillac eventually offered a 2-liter four-cylinder with 86 horsepower and later a 2.8-liter V6 producing 125 horsepower, but these upgrades came too late. Starting at approximately $12,182 in 1982, the Cimarron cost almost double what a Cavalier did, yet shared the same platform, doors, and basic structure. Buyers weren't fooled by the Cadillac badges and wreaths scattered throughout the interior. The automotive press savaged it immediately, and sales never met expectations. This badge engineering experiment tarnished Cadillac's luxury image for years and taught the industry an expensive lesson.
At number 6, we have the 1981 Cadillac Fleetwood, equipped with the revolutionary V8 6.4 engine, a technological innovation that was simply too advanced for its time. Cadillac engineers developed cylinder deactivation to improve fuel economy during the oil crisis, but the computer technology of 1981 couldn't reliably manage the system. The 6.0-liter V8 was designed to produce 140 horsepower, while seamlessly switching between 8, 6, or 4 active cylinders depending on driving demands. Unfortunately, the primitive computer system struggled to make real-time adjustments, resulting in rough idling, hesitation, stalling, and unpredictable power delivery. Owners reported that the engine felt like it was constantly searching for the right configuration, making smooth driving nearly impossible. Dealerships across America received so many complaints that many simply disabled the cylinder deactivation system, converting these engines to run permanently on all 8 cylinders. Cadillac quietly abandoned the technology after just one model year. Number 5 brings us to one of the most disappointing performance car compromises ever made, the Chevrolet Camaro equipped with the Iron Duke 4-cylinder engine. The Camaro nameplate carried decades of muscle car heritage, but this base model betrayed everything enthusiasts expected from the brand. Chevrolet installed a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine producing just 90 horsepower in a car that wore one of America's most iconic performance badges. This cast-iron engine was designed for economy cars like the Chevrolet Citation, not sports coupes. Acceleration was painfully slow, with 0 to 60 miles per hour times exceeding 14 seconds, slower than most family sedans of the era. The engine's rough operation, excessive noise, and complete lack of power made even basic highway merging feel dangerous. The front-heavy weight distribution from that iron block ruined the handling dynamics that made other Camaros enjoyable to drive. Starting around $7,999, this Camaro was affordable, but it destroyed the model's reputation among buyers who expected performance. While higher-trim Camaros with V6 and V8 engines maintained the car's sporting credentials, the Iron Duke version remains an embarrassing reminder of how badly fuel economy regulations could compromise an American icon. Number 4. At number 4, we have the Pontiac Fiero, General Motors' ambitious mid-engine sports car that became infamous for catching fire. This 2-seater looked innovative with its plastic body panels and sporty silhouette, but serious engineering flaws turned it into a public relations disaster. The base model featured a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine producing 92 horsepower, barely adequate for a sports car. An optional 2.8-liter V6 with 140 horsepower offered better performance, but by the time it arrived, the Fiero's reputation was already destroyed. Early models suffered from inadequate engine cooling systems that led to overheating. Connecting rods would break under stress, puncture the oil pan, and spray oil onto hot exhaust components, causing engine fires. General Motors issued multiple recalls affecting thousands of vehicles, but consumer confidence never recovered. The innovative space frame construction with plastic body panels should have been a selling point, but quality control issues meant panels didn't fit properly and some arrived with visible defects. Pontiac engineers actually improved the Fiero for 1988, redesigning the suspension and addressing many earlier problems, but sales had collapsed. Production ended after just 5 model years, with the Fiero remembered more for its fires than its innovative design. Coming in at number 3 is the DeLorean DMC-12, the stainless steel sports car that became a cultural icon thanks to Back to the Future, but was actually a massive commercial failure. John DeLorean's dream of building an ethical sports car company ended in bankruptcy, scandal, and thousands of disappointed owners. The DMC-12 featured a 2.85-liter V6 engine from the PRV Alliance, producing only 130 horsepower. With a curb weight of nearly 2,850 pounds and that underpowered engine, the DeLorean took over 10 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, embarrassingly slow for a car priced at $25,000 in 1981. The famous gull-wing doors looked spectacular, but created practical problems. They were heavy, the electronic struts that held them open frequently failed, and the doors leaked water during rainstorms. Build quality at the Northern Ireland factory was inconsistent, with panel gaps varying significantly between vehicles. Despite the stainless steel body panels, the steel frame underneath rusted aggressively in harsh climates. The DeLorean Motor Company collapsed in 1982,
amid financial irregularities and federal drug trafficking charges against John DeLorean himself. At number 2, we have the Yugo GV, the Yugoslavian import that became the ultimate symbol of cheap, unreliable transportation. Priced at just $3,990, the Yugo was marketed as the most affordable new car in America, but buyers quickly discovered that low price came with devastating compromises. The Yugo GV used a 1.1-liter four-cylinder engine producing only 55 horsepower, making it dangerously underpowered for American highways and freeways. The build quality was shockingly poor, even for budget car standards. Doors didn't align properly, windows fell off their tracks and dropped into door panels, and electrical systems failed with alarming regularity. The cooling system was inadequate, leading to overheating in warm weather, while the heating system barely worked in cold climates. The manual transmission felt crude and imprecise, and clutches wore out within 20,000 miles for many owners. Safety was a major concern. The lightweight construction and minimal structural reinforcement made the Yugo extremely vulnerable in collisions. And at number 1, the absolute worst car of the 1980s, the Chrysler TC by Maserati. This confused collaboration between Chrysler and Maserati promised Italian luxury and American reliability, but delivered neither. It was essentially a rebadged Chrysler LeBaron convertible with Italian leather and a Maserati badge, sold at an absurd premium price. The TC initially came with a 2.2-liter turbocharged four-cylinder producing 160 horsepower, later upgraded to a 3-liter V6 with 141 horsepower. Performance was mediocre at best, nothing that justified the exotic car positioning or premium price tag. What made this car truly disastrous was the pricing. At $33,000, it cost more than double what a standard LeBaron convertible cost, yet shared the same platform, most mechanical components, and even many body panels with that much cheaper car. Production delays meant the TC arrived to market years behind schedule. By the time it finally reached dealerships, the LeBaron it was based on was already well established and familiar to buyers. Nobody was fooled by the Italian badges and hand-stitched leather when the car was so obviously a dressed-up Chrysler.